This week's Dvar Torah is Eli Nishmas. We're still Mr. Shloshim, Chashav Rebbe and Flam, Rachel Miriam, Bas Yisrael, Yitzhak Halevi. Neshama should have an aliyah. We discussed when we start today for Shemot. So there's a little bit of a change. We have the Bereshis, which was the formation in the potential of what the world could come out of, what we could do, and then Shemot, which is actual bringing that to production, to activity, to something of Lamaisa. We go from the darkness of the Shibud Mitzrayim to one of Geula. Drastic changes. So how do we affect change? How do we show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that there's something we desperately want? We want to leave that situation which we're in. We want to bring out the Lamaisa. We want to bring out that which is there, our potential. Bring it to facts on the ground, that we could change where we are and see the light amidst this darkness, to bring out the Geula while we're still in the Shibud. I saw a beautiful vart from Rav Shraga Samuels, and he says as follows. I think he was quoting from the Chavetz Chaim. He says that Moshe Rabbeinu was wondering, what's the pshat? What's still holding Klal Yisrael amongst servitude in Shibud Mitzrayim? Why is it that the Yidden, that the Jews are still suffering so terribly for hundreds of years? And he saw two people, Dasan v'Aviram, fighting, and he turns to them and he says, Rasha, lama sakes re'echa. Why do you hit your friend? And he realized then that because they didn't value the re'acha, they didn't value each other as a friend, they didn't understand the pain that another person goes through when you inflict upon them some type of suffering. It didn't make a difference to them. He realized this is the reason why Klal Yisrael is still in Galus. This is why they're still in Shibud Mitzrayim. If they can't understand, they can't commiserate, they can't be sensitive to another individual. There was a Diltura, which was there was snitching and Lashon Hara spoken amongst each other. There was no hope. So what Moshe Rabbeinu then did, as the pasuk tells us, Vayetze Aloch, he went out to his brother Vayarbesev Loisam, and Rashi says, Nasan Eina V'Liboy. He had to empathize. Now this is Moshe Rabbeinu. How is he supposed to empathize with Klal Yisrael? Klal Yisrael is suffering for generations. Moshe Rabbeinu is sitting in the palace like a prince. How is he supposed to commiserate? How is he supposed to empathize properly with what the Bnei Yisrael were going through? So Svarim tell us, Nasan Eina V'Liboy wasn't a matter of fact, a momentary decision. Oh, let me chaparain, let me help them out. Let me give them some type of siyua. Let me assist them in any way I can. It was an avodah, it was a work. It took day after day of slowly asking to place more cement on them. Let me help you carry loads. Let me hear your tsaras, let me hear your troubles. As we've heard so many stories about different gedolim, when they're collecting money, or they wanted to do good for other people, they first had to feel the pain of the person they were collecting for, or feel the cold of that which they wanted to spread the warmth on. It's very nice to do Maaseh Chesed. But if you're not feeling and understanding what that person who you're giving to is really going through, you can't empathize properly, then the Chesed is lacking in some sorts. Moshe Rabbeinu understood that. He said, in order to be Mesakin, to fix up that which Yidden going through now, this Peter, this separation between one and the other, I have to be Mesakin, I have to rectify that properly by going to the other extreme. I'm going empathizing, bringing myself to a position which I don't have to be in. And I'm going to show anyways that I'm with you, Yidden. I'm with you, fellow Jews. I'm carrying the cement with you. I want to share your burden. I want to feel your pain. And because Moshe Rabbeinu did that, and Hashem saw that as a tikkun, Moshe Rabbeinu was Zeicha, he merited to be the Goyal, to be the Redeemer. We can also do that in our lives. There are times where we feel sometimes we're in the midst of Shibud Mitzrayim. And we look around us and we look into what we're doing. It could be because of Pirud, because of Dilturia, because of Lashon Hara, or because of Rasha Lamasakis Re'echa, just a basic meaning of not understanding and feeling and being sensitive to another individual's pain. But if we want to see that Geula by us, it takes that change, that ability to empathize with another individual, to be sensitive to another person, to put yourself in someone else's shoes literally, and to understand what they might be going through. And when you lend that ear, and give your hand and extend yourself in a way that's uncomfortable for you, but to feel someone else's pain, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to take you from that bereshis, from what you have b'koyach, when you have that potential, and bring it to the Shemot, bring it to the Lamaisa, bring it to the results, to the facts on the ground, to the Geula. If each one of us is able to take ourselves out of our individual shibud and bring to some degree our Geula, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hopefully will take that together and we'll make sure that we're mizaka all of us to be able to live, to see the Geula Shlema b'mheira b'yameinu. Have a wonderful Shabbos.